Activating core is a massive aspect of dynamic posturology. It's amazing for the spine, the development of muscles of the core around the spine. And also the spine is what keeps you upright. So that's what's going to give you the tools and the strength to brace yourself and to be more upright. So you have things like hanging leg raises, for example. So on one side, you're gripping on holding yourself down. Grip strength is seen as a sign of longevity. When you're a baby, you grip onto things. So the first thing is that you've got grip strength from just gripping onto the handles. You also are lengthening the tricep, the arm, the shoulder blades. The whole spine gets lengthened. So it's a fantastic way of, chiropractors would even recommend just hanging off of a bar because of the lengthening of the spine. The other thing you've got now doing a leg raise is you've got to activate your core and lengthen your leg up to stop you from actually swinging forwards and back. So you'll see a lot of people when they do hanging leg raises, they're swinging upwards and downwards because what they're not doing is they're not engaging their core strong enough to actually lengthen it down, control it up, bring it back down. So you've got, from a core perspective, you've got lengthening of the spine, you've got twisting of the spine, you've got side bends of the spine, you've got an upward downward motion. So a good way of developing the core for me would be doing things like inchworms, where you touch the toes, you walk your hands forward as far as you can, where you've got an extension of the arm over the shoulder. This would be done on the floor. Then you'd get an engagement on the core when you've got that lengthening, and then what you do is pull yourself backwards and upwards, or you could do something like a pike off of a Swiss ball, and that's a great one for lengthening and getting that upward downward motion of the core. From a flexibility perspective, you got the thing like the downward dog in yoga into cobra. That's a great one for lengthening the spine. I would incorporate some martial arts to engage core. So let's say you've got Thai boxing kicks, roundhouse kicks, or karate kicks with an elbow strike or a punch. So you've got the twisting of the obliques. So what you're getting is more movement of the spine. If you're not into martial arts, boxing, Thai boxing, or generally into martial arts or MMA, another thing that you could do is things like Russian twists or oblique twists or medicine ball twists, which are all great techniques that you could do. Again, I'm looking at the different motions of the spine to activate the core, not just doing core for the sake of doing core. Even though it's great having a good looking core, it's also good to have a mobile core and a strong and powerful core with great movement. So that's the important thing. So it's not just healthy and good looking, it's a combination of the two. The other thing is that I actually have spoken to osteopaths that suggest the idea of doing side bends. Now a lot of people, you see a lot of side bends in different ways, and a side motion to me would be either side plank, which is a great exercise, lengthening of the spine using the obliques to hold yourself up, but also the side bend. Now you see a lot of people hold either two dumbbells which cantilevers each other, or they let their shoulders fall down and forwards. So when you're doing a side bend, you have to imagine the shoulder blades are back, the belly is in, and it's actually only a small movement. A lot of people over twist to go down, and what happens is you can see the spine and the shoulders are going in this motion downwards. What you really want to do is shoulder blades are back, stomach is in, and you're doing a small reaching motion with a weight. So you can see I can only do a small movement to the right to allow myself to move and do a side bend, because you got to think the muscle isn't that long. So how much distance will it really reach? But it's a great way of, again, mobilizing and strengthening the spine from another direction. You've got a overhead throwing motion, which is another one that you could do, or medicine ball throws. There are other good core drills. You've got standard things like sit-ups and crunches, which are good because they get that upward motion. And then you've also got the hyperextension, or the good morning, which I think are fantastic exercises because they really get you to raise up, do a very good stand up, and they're really good for the lower back. They also get the thoracic engaged if you do them properly, or have a loaded bar, or hyperextensions loaded are very difficult to do, and you've got to have a really strong back to do that. But also good mornings with a good weight are very good because you're activating the glutes, you've got the shoulder blades pulled back, and it's really good for the hamstrings as well as the lower back, giving you great core. So I would stick those in the toolbox for powerful core, great spinal strength and flexibility and movement, and I would put that in the system to have great shape and health.